This is not a test. Don't expect to be impressed. Put on your life vest. Sit down your armrest. It's time to stray from the grind. Don't take my hand, 'cause you'll find no peace of mind. Side quest.
Hi there, and welcome to Side Quest, the in-between episodes when we're not having adventures. We might have fascinating guests or interesting topics, or we might just chat crap about whatever is going on immediately within our lives. Speaking of lives, who do we have with us today? It's myself, Steve Wetherell, MK Gibson, Gibby, and Robert Bevan. Bevan, how do you do, guys?
Hello, friends.
Hey, how you doing, bud?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Today, at the time of recording, in America at least, is Mother's Day.
Yes, it is.
That's a lauded and sanctified day.
Do you have mothers in England, or are you pod people, like I've always assumed?
Yeah, we don't have Mother's Day because
I didn't think so.
We are pulled from the earth, ready for combat.
I thought you like cultivated like soccer balls, but like Cabbage Patch Kids. Like, so it's like these Cabbage Patch of soccer balls that like birth British children, and they immediately give you an acting degree and an instrument to play in some kind of musical band. So
It's like orcs, but more twee.
I just thought they were all orphans.
They're all orphans.
that actually makes sense. So they grow this crop of soccer ball babies, and or football, if you will, fancy lad, and then they all go to like the Oliver Twist orphanage, and then they are adopted by the middle switch families of Upper Lower West Essex.
Yeah,
and given
And
lives.
then giant hairy men come in and claim they're going to be wizards.
Yeah.
True.
We pull them out of the ground, and they say, "Hello, governor." We'll go, all right, put that in the poor person pile. Your future prospects.
They can tell by the accent.
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense. And they just tell you where you're born
so
with the accent, and then they
you go in the plucky orphan pile. And they speak with received pronunciations like, okay, you're leading the country regardless of whether you're qualified or not.
Okay.
And it's a system that's lasted for thousands of years and it's been absolutely fine with no poor consequence
which
whatsoever.
one of you gets to pull the sword from the stone and claim kingdom?
No one. We can't be trusted with knives, so we just leave it in the stone. Yeah,
that's true. Well, I mean, I'm glad we settled. Does England have moms? The answer is technically. So, do you guys have belly buttons since you're not really born?
No, we put them in afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a system that works. Stop denigrating my culture. Anyway, speaking of Americans with their actual mothers that birth children and shit. Oh, fancy. It's Mother's Day. Time to celebrate that, I guess. And but what kind better way to
system, really?
Yeah, it's like
it's much grosser.
No, I'll stick to the shovels. I guess we're celebrating that gross business, gross, untidy, disgusting business of bringing life into the world. And I thought we'd celebrate it by just chatting shit about mums.
Yeah, let's get three
basically.
white dads in here to like talk about moms. So this really works. Yeah, I want the fans to know that we put this call out to the other authors and dragons. They're actually busy with their lives. So
I don't know what white's got to do. We're not talking specifically about black mothers now, but
I think it's your photo because I don't get to see Steve. I see this Bevan rendition of Steve. You missed the glasses. I think the glasses would have like sold this a little bit more right now. This could be any drunk wino. The glasses I think would have brought it home for me.
Look, it's the spirit of the thing, Gibby. Don't.
Oh no, it's spot on. This is when you're plucked
captures
from the earth.
my true essence. It's like dug me out of the ground. There you go. He seems like sort of middle commoner. Give that baby a bottle of fancy lad and send him on his way. So not specifically black mothers. That would be probably an even worse podcast. Let's be real. We got the chicks out of the room. Well, it was no way it was going to end well, Bevan. I'm calling it here. We're doing mothers of all creeds. We got the chicks out of the room. They're not going to interrupt us as we get down into the nitty gritty of motherhood. Mansplaining it as only a man can.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you about momhood. Oh my God.
Oh my God. They just do not stop complaining about it.
Yak.
One day a year we have to listen to it, and instead we've chosen to record a podcast.
Well, it's like I tease this with my wife all the time, but it's like whenever it's Mom's Day, you know, we kind of bend over backwards. What do you need? What would you like? What do you want at dinner? Da da da. When it comes Father's Day, no one asks me. I'm usually told what I'm going to do on Father's Day to celebrate. Like what I want is to like none of y'all. I want a day of everybody go the fuck away.
But actually, as a man, that's absolutely what I want, which is to not make any decisions at all and just let the day unfold without me actually having to be there in person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just drag my carcass around while my thoughts are elsewhere. Probably
Yeah,
porn,
just
I
like
don't know.
any plans you or I make is interrupting what I really want to do, which is sit around and drink beer
Yeah,
all day.
nothing. Yeah. And if you make me plan that, that's even worse. Just get it out the way. Get your whimsical bullshit out the way so I can carry on drinking myself to death. Anyway, Mother's Day. Maybe that's what they want too. I've never asked them.
My wife doesn't we don't celebrate the high holidays of Hallmark around in this household, meaning we don't do Valentine's, we don't do Mother's, we don't do Father's, we don't do a lot of those bullshit holidays, at least at the time of. Like we do little nice things for each other so we skip Valentine's because we do nice things for each other all the time. And when it comes to Mother's Day and Father's Day, and we have like, of course, my mom, her parents, in-laws. And so we kind of do a joint family thing, but it's usually the week or two after the actual holiday. So we could actually get to a restaurant and actually sit down as a family and not be paying triple the price for half the space. So
to be honest, I often think about that for Christmas. I love Christmas, but part of me always thinks this would probably be a lot cheaper and easier if I did it in the middle of January.
Right. So yeah, we don't celebrate. We even skip our own birthdays. It's like in this because we don't make a big. We're all only children, so we like my wife and I are special, and like we got married later, so we were in our 30s, and then we had my son when I was like late 30s. So it was one of those like, you know, I've got my bank account, you've got yours. We had each other's lives. We don't need to jump to this hoopla for one another. So
I'm like, yeah, when it's my birthday, I'm like, I'm not fucking going out tonight. All the other people who have their birthdays on November 3rd will be out. I'll wait till another day.
Well, I mean, I just
Beat
need
the
a big
crowds.
celebration. And at a certain point, there's like the number just keeps getting bigger. I'm getting closer to the end than the beginning, so I don't really want to celebrate that much more anyway. So,
Oh, no, I'm of the opposite. I'm sort of as I get closer to death. I think I've got like 5 years left. You know, I want the birthdays to be special. I want it to be the opposite of Father's Day. I want everyone to make plans, but I get to drink while they're happening.
I like my birthday.
Aw.
well, when is your birthday? Are you allowed to say? Or you not want to say?
Yeah, January 17th. When Steve is celebrating Christmas.
Yeah, mine's September 17th. So like I always get that like everybody goes right back to school kind of thing. But when I was a kid growing up, so it's like there's not enough time when you're a kid to have the cool birthday party because everyone just got back to school and all the parents just spent all their money on school supplies. So you ain't getting a gift. It's not as bad as having a kid with a birthday in December like my boy. So you get that joint birthday Christmas kind of thing. So.
Well, my son's birthday is right after that, and it's always like right near Black Friday. So like, hey,
racist.
You're gonna get a bunch of yeah, you can get video games like really cheap.
See, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that works out nicely. I always thought like a January birthday. I always slightly resent.
See, my boy's in early December, so they're again. Our boys are both. We have similar names, and they're both born right around the same time. So that's kind of cool.
I reckon even if it's like December 1st, you know, you get that kid a present. You're like, this is for Christmas as well. I don't care if you've got another 8 days. This is your Christmas present. It's also your Easter present. Suck it up.
Easter present.
I don't know.
Take that, zombie Jesus.
Like, whatever you had planned for the rest of the year, this is the one present you're getting.
This is all yours. Yeah, this is all you're getting.
And it's something that was gifted to me a month ago. But yeah, I don't like November birthdays because well-meaning winter clothes. But I don't know what it is about me. I can't wear sweaters. It's really, and that's all I get.
I'm wearing
like,
this sweater I'm wearing now is stupidly comfortable. It's from the Wedding Singer, and I got this from our good fan and friend, Fuck You, Mark. He sent this to me because he had asked me for a copy of one of my latest books.
Weird play, Mark. Weird play.
I know, but he had asked me for a copy of one of my books, so I just like, sure. I mean, he's been very nice, very supportive, so I just sent him an autographed copy of one of my books. And he's like, "What do I owe you?" I'm like, "Just spread the good word of my books, because Lord knows I need it." So then I got it because he had my address, because I mailed this to him and sent it back. He sent me this and a little gem of Fu, Mark. And I was like, oh, that's very sweet. So I'm wearing this. It is
Mark.
stupid comfortable. Thank you, Mark.
Mark, this is not how the barter system works, mate. But nice try.
But you still have to spread the word of my books. All of our books, really.
Somebody's getting you a jumper in the English winter. It's going to be made out of iron wool or some kind of breed of sheep that is deeply antisocial.
See, the worst part is like those kind of things are like my mom, like everyone wants those kind of like, they want the sweater that they see in the Irish Spring commercial from back in like the 70s and the 80s. They want that flat cap that like it's so thick and it's like wool made and you can stand on the moors and at night and just be just fine kind of thing. But those things are stupid expensive over here. So
it's not the price. It's just the sensation of wearing it. I'd rather freeze to death, thank you. Or just rely on my healthily cultivated layer of blubber, which, I've had since I was a kid, so it's not a fucking surprise. Stop buying me sweaters.
Well, you're born with it because we established once you came out of the ball, you're a little round like thing, like this.
Yeah. He's got a healthy layer of blubber. Put him in the fishing team or whatever. We've got a system. Anyway, I really like how we've turned Mother's Day into talking about ourselves. Because that's a true spirit.
Welcome to the Authors and Dragons podcast, where everything's really just about us and we're just narcissists. So
yeah, absolutely. It's the only reason people form a fucking podcast.
I just want to talk to my friends about shit that I like.
Write a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I have to be in the real world and listen to all those other people every day. This is me time, mum. Or shovel handler, whoever you were, shovel handler 590. But we did have a plan today. We were gonna discuss some of our favorite mother figures from popular fiction.
Now, are we tackling the X-Men thing? Or we're going to wait till it's after Rose.
Oh no, we'll wait. We'll wait till it's finished because Rachel wants to talk about it.
I know Rachel was chomping at the bit, and I can't wait to make fun of her for certain things, events that happen to that. So anyway,
I'll probably skip that one.
Yeah, don't blame you.
You sure you don't want to turn up like you usually do and just like halfway through say,
I don't like any of this stuff.
I have no idea what the fuck you people are talking about. I think the listeners expect it by now.
If you do it on a Saturday or something and I'm drinking, then fine.
I could just record you saying I have no idea what the fuck you people are talking about and just like make a little sound
from older episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The magic of editing. Bevan's been here the whole time.
You can pull the video too, but it's not like I'm doing anything or reacting.
I'm going to make a soundboard of you, Bevan, and if, like, God forbid something should happen to you, people aren't going to know you're dead for months. I'm going to keep it going as long as I can.
We just got to get a few oh my's in the Jorcerer voice, and like
it's going to be really fucking sophisticated. It's going to have at least 5 Bevan phrases.
Whoa.
At least.
We could go for years on that.
I reckon we can. Anyway,
do you guys have any traditions of actual Mother's Day over there in England or in the Bevan household? Do you have any special things you guys got to do for Mother's Day?
If I did, I wouldn't be here.
Oh, fair enough.
Good point. No, normally for me, it's I get a reminder on my calendar. I go immediately to Interflora, click a button. Thank God for that. I'm a great son.
Called my mom today and talked to her for a while. I did the good son thing, so that was nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're all fine. We're all good people. Now let's shit on some mums.
Yeah.
Mums of any colour or creed, I should reiterate. But go on, Bevan. Who's some of your favourite fictional media moms?
All right. Let's see what made my list here. All right. First one. I don't know the actress's name nor her character's name in the movie Throw Mama from the Train. So I'm just going to call her Mama Fratelli.
Okay, that's a good one.
Everybody knows what you're talking about. Yeah, you can go on.
Yeah, because, Owen!
Owen!
Owen! You're too fat and stupid.
So, Cartman.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, maybe. They might have got their influence from her. That's pretty much.
Jesus, now that you say it, I can't unhear it. So.
Not much to say. She was just really funny.
Yeah, she really hated her Danny DeVito child.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't?
Her name was Anne Ramsey. Thanks to my phone, her name was Anne Ramsey.
Good old Anne Ramsey.
She's Mama Fratelli.
Yeah.
Don't get ahead of it because I got that little game show like that we'll discuss later. She's on it. Just Mama Fratelli, the character, is on there. We will discuss her.
We'll get around to that then.
I mean, I figure the director must have said, all right, I need you to channel that Mama Fratelli energy, but make her somehow less likable.
Yes.
It's like there's no bigger plot involved here. It's just you hating your son, who is Danny DeVito.
But to be fair to that mother, that son was Danny DeVito, and not for nothing. Like, that's okay. I understand why she's a little grumpy. Like,
there's been Danny DeVito films where you would delight in having Danny DeVito as your son, just not in the movie.
Her upbringing turned a normal child into Danny DeVito.
I can't say that because all I know is like his biologic twin of Arnold Schwarzenegger begs to differ.
No, well, there you go. If he had a different mom, he'd fucking be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's got nothing to do with
I'm just saying. It's like, he's just destined to be Danny DeVito and Mama Fratelli. Anne Ramsey was disappointed, and I get it. So
somebody has to be Danny DeVito.
And
I think he's doing a bang up job.
Chicken and egg thing.
Is it a chicken egg thing?
It's our nature versus, no, I don't know.
Nature versus Danny DeVito.
Was he Danny DeVito because he was raised by Mama Fratelli, or
was he always destined to be?
Yes,
Danny DeVito.
And she's justified for becoming Mama Fratelli.
Okay, well, I'm going to go for my top movie mom. Speaking of Danny DeVito's twin brother, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger from the movie Junior.
Junior. So you stole a mom from the moms. Congratulations.
Yes.
Wow.
I wanted to make this
bold move on this day, my friend.
I wanted to make this Mother's Day podcast as misogynistic as possible.
I almost went the same direction. I almost picked Gizmo.
Gizmo, yeah. I'm going to Gizmo. What I like about Arnold Schwarzenegger character, and again, I'm not going to call him his character's name. I assume he has a name in the movie, but he's Arnold Schwarzenegger and whatever he does. Is he took
Kimball.
one for the team. My name is definitely not, European in the slightest. It's Johnny American Man. You know what? He put in the work, He didn't just get knocked up outside a bar. He went balls first into motherhood.
I will admit, I have never.
His name was Dr. Alex Hess, German Hess spelling.
Well, Jesus, no wonder it's only got a 3-star rating. People want Johnny America Man.
Yes.
You've never seen Junior?
No, I saw the picture and I thought, well, I've seen the movie.
Well, yeah, that's
you
true.
kind of have. You're not wrong.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Unlike this one, though, actually, DeVito plays a nice guy because in like Twins, DeVito's is a bit of a scoundrel. Like he's actually a good guy.
Fucker.
He's actually playing the charming one.
Yeah.
And he's trying to help moms using this new drug to be able to have children who are infertile, having trouble conceiving. Then they take it, use it on a man. And so it gets convoluted. And I think it's Emma Thompson is the actual
Emma Thompson. Yeah. I will point out that as long as I'm being a misogynist here, Helen Thompson's like, when she finds out Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to gestate and birth a child, she's like, oh, we had one thing and you took it away from us. And I'm like, you were always complaining about that thing. I mean, everything, like the entire warrior culture, the whole pay gap, everything that's bad about women's situation comes back to a bunch of dudes saying, well, somebody's got to fight out the babies. Sorry, that's biology, I guess. Now you've got to be in the kitchen for the rest of your days having 12 kids. And now you're like, oh, we can get a dude to do this. And your first thought is, oh, you are treading on my toes. I thought Helen Thompson was out of order there.
That's Wetherell, Steve Wetherell, when you send your hate mail and attack in.
I'm not saying anything that Danny DeVito did not say in that movie.
Well, there you go. You're in the clear.
Me and Danny DeVito, ladies, come at us. But I thought, it's like, right. Okay, well, he's going to have the baby for you, That's potentially a good thing, ladies. Maybe let him do it. Maybe go and... start a podcast or something. But, she was not happy about it at all. I'm also annoyed that, you remember the scene in Total Recall where they took the tracker out of his nose?
Yes.
I thought how the birth was going to be. So instead of a tracker, it would be a baby. Instead of a nose, it would be his cock.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. I mean, spoil the end. I don't care. Did he shit it out or did it come out of his dick?
No, C-section. They completely fucking, no, of course, offense to anybody who has to have a C-section, but I thought, unfortunately, if you're going to take the plunge,
it's been a hot minute since I've seen that movie. How did they explain his lack of a womb?
I think they just put a post suitcase in there or something. But the point is, if you're going to go the whole head and say,
put it in his rectum, and he could have shat it out naturally.
Yeah, if you're going to go the whole hog and say, oh, men can have babies too, then you got to push that baby out your dick. Otherwise, I don't believe you are committed. One of the two, yeah. C-section seemed like a bit of a cop-out in that circumstance, he added, as a very important caveat. But yeah, so that, I'm going to give it to Arnold Schwarzenegger for trying to take the load off. I thought he did a good job, you know?
Arnold Schwarzenegger takes a load.
Well, that's an entirely different, possibly a home movie he made with his cleaner, allegedly. I don't know.
That is true. She did clean up that load and had a kid, so yeah.
And eating isn't cheating, apparently. That's the first time I heard that phrase from You can learn a lot from movies as well.
Isn't that what like Michael Douglas said? Like, it's like that's how he got like chlamydia of the mouth, because he was addicted to like
because he was just so great at giving head. Well, you know, you wear those battle scars with pride, Michael Douglas. Well done, sir. But this isn't Father's Day. We're not here to salute great men.
Well, I hope it's the ladies of the Authors and Dragon who take on Father's Day, because I want to watch that episode.
You say that, but it sounds like an excellent chance to let the ladies do the work and maybe go have a beer.
Let me see. Mine. Okay, mine's actually a little bit not comedic and an actual mom I like from my childhood growing up watching movies. Because for me, like, I was raised single mom for the first 5 years of my life. She married my stepdad, and then things were rough thereafter. But it was a hard knock life for my mom. She worked very hard to like take care of me after my dad left us when I was little.
Not to interrupt a personal moment, Gibby, but I misinterpreted that as you were raised as a single mum in the English way.
Yes, it was like Tootsie. I had to wear the dress and the big shoulder pads and the glasses.
They dug you up. They made a mistake. They put you in the single mum pile. But then you're American. That's not how you do things. So please continue.
So yeah, my mom was a single mom for a couple of years after dad left, blah, 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 blah. And then long story short, I saw how much work she had to go into. So there's one character that I really, really enjoyed growing up, and she's not even human. It's Mrs. Brisby from the Secret of Nim. That's my favorite mom from movies and television. I just recently rewatched that again with my own son to show him, like, you know, it's just a good movie, because a Don Bluth movie is a Don Bluth movie, and they're fucking fantastic. Mm-hmm. But when you watch that character of like everything she had to go through to save her sick son and the lengths she was willing to go to do it, it rivals Sarah Connor and her ability of like, I don't care what's in my way, I'm going to get this fucking done. And I have to applaud that rat and Don Bluth for animating that wonderful masterpiece, The Secret of Nim, and all of its psychedelic weirdness. When you watch it as an adult, like, man, this movie's way more fucked up than I remember. So,
well, Gibby, you've been unexpectedly touching there. I feel
sorry
bad about my choice.
So dick joke, women, something kitchen, something, tiny feet, stand next to you.
You are talking about Sarah Connor, and I was 100% like, I would pick Sarah Connor as one of my favorite movies.
She's on the other list. She's a questionable mom, and we'll discuss that.
Okay. Well, she was great for a while, and then they kept making movies, and I don't know. We'll get to that, I guess.
I went in a similar direction as far as hardworking moms go. Secret of Nim. Sarah Connor. My choice was Wendy from Ozark.
That's a good mom. That's a good mom.
Not a great person, but a good fucking mom.
Fantastic. Yeah, she's got her priorities straight in one particular avenue of existence. Everything else really skewed priorities, but
I mean, she worked way harder than I ever would or could to save her family.
Exactly. She was like, oh no, my husband's a drug dealer and we're going to get killed by the mob. But worse, he's not doing it right. And she got involved.
Yeah, she got involved. She's like, here, give me this thing. I'll take over for this for you, honey.
Yeah, none of that fucking Skylar bullshit where it takes her like 5 seasons to get with a program. She was like straight in. It's like, okay, we're all evil, but you're being a bit shit at it.
Yes.
It's family first. It's still evil, but family first.
She was willing to kill her own brother to get shit out of the way. So for the betterment of the family, you know. Also, like, I think Laura Linney, amazing actress. Like, she can play anything. And I'm also a little scared of her. So I like that.
Well, she was scary, yeah. And who's the husband character? If he had more
Jason Bateman.
If he had more than 3 facial expressions, he probably would have conveyed
Then
that.
He wouldn't be Jason Bateman. I wouldn't want to watch everything he did.
He's fucking great. But I would have loved Ozark much more if every time he did the Arrested Development face, they played the music.
Or if he was just that guy from
Ron Howard was
Dodgeball.
Narrating it.
Bold move, Cotton. You know, no.
Yeah, Ron Howard was like,
Teen Wolf
just
2,
occasionally
Jason
go,
Bateman, you know.
looks like they've upset the South Americans.
No, it's the face he made because, like, all right. So as long as we talk about Ozark, and I'm glad to see other Ozarkians out here who are fans of the show. He directed a lot of those episodes. Jason Bateman did. So
I regret saying he only has 3 facial.
Oh, no.
Like, he only has 3 that count, and he knows when to use them.
But there's this one episode, and it freaked me the fuck out. It was when the preacher guy he had the baby, and it looks like he's drowning the baby at the end of that scene. Because his kid was born, and mom's dead. And and it looks like he's actually baptizing the baby, but he held the baby under for an uncomfortably long amount of time as the camera tracks back. And I just keep thinking Jason Bateman is screaming at him off camera, "Drown that fucking baby! Look at me! Look him in the eyes! Drown that fucking baby! You hold it down there until God says it. Now pull him up!" And that scene and that show was amazing, and I wish I don't know if I saw it all. I don't remember if I really liked the last season because like the first few seasons were so great because it's building. Then it kind of just had to come to an end, and I don't know if I wanted it to end.
It was the curse of the quick wrap up. I don't mind things being wrapped up, but when they say, "Okay, you got one more season," they're just like,
"Yes,
oh shit, we had a lot of."
It takes a lot of fuel to take off the plane into the coast, but you have to descend equally. So
yeah, at the end they're just like, just shoot more evil. This is how the world works.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that is sort of an emotional catharsis of a sort, I suppose. That's the only criticism I'll give to Ozark. That and the whole movie made me feel sweaty. I don't know if that's just an environmental thing.
Oh no, Ozark was like have you ever had a concentrated orange juice? You had to like take this blob of frozen shit and then add water to it. Well, that's Breaking Bad in one condensed form. Every episode, like Breaking Bad broke out its ickiness. Ozark was a condensed version. Every episode made you feel unclean and you had to shower.
I was just thinking of Florida or wherever it was. That place looks humid.
Oh no! Well, it's not Florida,
but it was filmed here in Georgia.
Missouri. Yeah.
Oh well, it still looked very sticky. The whole South looked very sticky.
I mean, eating that fucking concentrate is delicious.
It is. I'm not gonna lie. It makes your cheeks tart. Yeah.
I'm not sure we're allowed to advocate that on the podcast. Don't eat orange juice concentrate. I suppose. Well, do I don't give a fuck. It's
You're an adult. Do what you want to do. You can fuck that concentrate if you want to. I don't care.
You can. You can send us pictures if you want to. But don't, obviously. Bevan, what other
is my turn again?
Fantastic media mums. Oh, okay, yeah, you did. Sorry, Gibby.
It's your turn. No, it's your turn.
Is it? Fucking
yeah.
I don't know this one. This is what you get when you don't have a woman organizing things. It just goes off the rails. I'm going to pick the alien queen from Aliens.
Nice.
Thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, she was, they were just kind of doing their own thing. They had one purpose, raise some kids. Some people get involved with that. Some American military, very gung-ho about murdering your children. And what do? You get in for the long haul. You start just laying out them kids. You got to frustrate the military machine with the sheer weight of motherly love.
Well, I mean, she did her job. She's like, I'm supposed to procreate and dominate everything forever. That's the whole point, and she did her job. She did it well. She raised good children, And
she, good at what they were supposed to do. But then she meets other supermom, Ripley. And I'm thinking Ripley, okay, you've took care of one kid. She's got like hundreds,
She didn't. That's the thing. She didn't take care of her. Even her own daughter, by the time she came out of deep free, was dead. She was an absentee mom. Remember that?
Yeah,
she was a minor.
She made up for it by taking another kid, and I think.
She knew Newt for like 72 hours. Congratulations.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. She didn't have she didn't lay 500 eggs. All right. The alien queen did. She was a dedicated mum. And
she called her a bitch, and that wasn't nice.
Yeah.
I appreciate
get away from my one child I've known for 2 days.
Yes.
How about you get away from my 500 eggs, you prick?
Stop murdering my acid-spitting children,
You've got a flamethrower in my creche.
You came to my house and fucking with me.
Yeah. It's like, you cannot just go into a creche with a flamethrower. You just can't. So yeah, I appreciate the sacrifices the Alien Queen made. It didn't go her way. It's a bit of a shame. But mind you, there were 6 more Alien movies, so who's laughing now? Ripley. And that's just through no technology, no nothing, just through the power of being a dedicated
Ripley
mother.
did at one point become a mom to an alien baby in the Aliens 4 Resurrection. So
Yeah, I know that's true, but then she immediately flushed out of an airlock, as
she
is her
did
wont.
flush it out of an airlock. So again, Ripley's not a good mom. So
No.
let's just
Yeah, that's like rule number 1. Don't do that.
don't flush your baby.
Sorry I didn't raise you, daughter, and you you grew up and died of old age, but I was busy flushing someone else's child out of an airlock.
Chapter 1 of what to expect when you're expecting. Don't flush your baby out of an airlock.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, I'm going to put the Alien Queen up there with Arnold Schwarzenegger as what I think are the most dedicated mums in media history.
My
Give
next
me what
pick.
you got.
She is okay. This mom's been betrayed many, many times, and I don't think there's an incarnation where I don't love her immediately. Morticia Addams. Now, could it be because I was a young Gibby and the goth girls turned me on? Maybe. I don't know.
I didn't realize it was MILF's Day, Gibby.
Well, it can't. The two are not mutually exclusive, my friend. There's no reason that it can't. Stifler's mom, we can bring her in.
We do
You
not
say
set
that.
up any guidelines for what constitutes what we're looking for in a mom.
Yeah, but I'm sending flowers to one woman on Mother's Day, Gibby, and it's not
Sure.
the hot goth chick I've got a crush on.
Well, you're not sending it to the Alien Queen either, but yet we spent 8 minutes on her, so fuck you.
I would if I could.
Thank you. I don't know if that works, but Morticia Addams, that's the kind of quirky dark mom that I like. I'm glad I'm not related because that way I can my lusting isn't weird at least according to Pornhub. It could be a little bit normal, but I'm not sure.
No,
The
it's
point
fine.
is, if she was if that's a stepmom, Morticia Addams is always great. And whether it's the old show, the Angelica Houston playing, even the new mom with Catherine Zeta-Jones on that show on Netflix. Every incarnation of Morticia Addams is freaking phenomenal. She's dark, twisted, dark sense of humor, capable, strong, and just the right amount of you're good. It's
Also a terrible mother, except by Adam's family standards, which
okay.
by anyone
standard,
else's standards would be child murder.
Well,
I mean, massive negligence at least, right?
independence. I think you're mistaking independence. She has taught those children how to survival tactics. Wednesday's constantly trying to kill Pugsley, and but she raised Pugsley with enough wherewithal that he knows how to avoid being assassinated. So
You see your toddler crawling towards a chainsaw. It's like, don't get in the way. I'm teaching it independence.
yes,
Yeah, I mean, the untold story is she had 75 other kids.
These are the ones that learn lessons really fucking quickly. All right, I'll buy that. I guess.
and she's hot. And she's hot.
Yeah, you can hand wave a lot of things if you're a hot goth chick.
You can. Yes.
Yeah.
Bevan, you got another hot, you got not hot, say hot mom. You got a mom.
Doesn't have to be a hot mom.
I got 2 that are similar.
Okay.
I've got the mom from Signs, the movie, and the mom
dead
from
one?
Finding Nemo. Yeah.
It was only a matter of time before we landed on a ghost mom.
Okay.
Signs, she just had the presence of mind to check out before the events of that shitty movie.
Swing away, Meryl. Swing away. Yep.
Yeah.
She left
And,
some very specific advice, which she could have no way predicted would be useful at all.
No,
But good on her.
that's how we've proved God is real.
God,
That
which
movie
is
fucking sucks.
no small feat. I love that movie. I thought it was charming.
And all right, and then Nemo's mom. Most
She had the decency to die.
most mothers, you have a child with this disgusting deformity, and you think, all right, well, I'm gonna kill this baby and eat it because I'm a fish.
We just established
But-
rule 1: don't flush your baby. That's the.
She didn't get a chance to.
Well, no, because instead she took her own life, and for
Oh.
that I commend her. That's
Well-
self-sacrifice right there.
well, she didn't take her own life. She was eaten by a fish. But
so Dad says.
The real,
come on,
isn't that what we all tell our kids?
She went out for a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah,
she was
eaten by a giant fish. Don't look in the basement. But the real horror of Finding Nemo is that the clownfish, in that scenario where most of them die, the male would have sort of forced it into a female. So the dad would have been like, well,
so Nemo, you're already deformed enough.
Yeah, it's like, you're a woman now and my wife. That's why he was so desperate to find him, because he wanted to fuck his son.
Jesus Christ.
And that's why Nemo's dad gets Mother of the Year from me.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's true. It's something I read on correct.com. You got to take it with a pinch of salt. I wrote an article on Correct, so it's hardly a bunch of fucking experts.
I was going to say, didn't you used to write for that magazine or that website?
No.
So.
I wrote like 2 articles for Correct. And apparently they had differences of opinion on what Mother of the Year actually means. And that's why they're shit now. Fuck you, Correct. No, I'm kidding. It was a wonderful site.
I used to go to the website all the time.
Did you hang around in the writer forum?
No, because I wasn't active writing at the time. I was doing my own personal stuff.
That's where Steve and I met.
Yeah, they had a sub-writer.
No, I wish I had. It's one of those, like, I had always wanted to be a writer, but my stepdad would say, you can't be a writer, shut up and get a real job kind of thing. So I ended up joining the military after I drank out of school, and but I always wrote in my spare time. So it was towards the end of my military career, I was reading a lot of indie books that had been opened up thanks to Amazon, people getting create space, and people could get out there without having like trying to be patted on the head by the big six. Or if you weren't blessed to go to college and meet the right professor, hook you up with an agent or New York contact and do an internship, you actually get a chance to get your voice out there. So right at the end of my military career is when I started like getting back into it. So by the time I retired is when my first book was published. So.
It's a shame you didn't get on Correct a little earlier. That's kind of what they were for. That's why I was.
I wish I had. It's one of those like I didn't have the confidence in myself. It wasn't until after I read a couple of books that are like they were good books. I think it was Peter Klein's X Heroes series about zombies and superheroes, and Jim Bernheimer's book, Confessions of a D-List Supervillain, that they were like, I didn't realize you could just write fun books. I thought everything had to be like, you couldn't go with. So when I broke into this world, I mean, I read like some of the Harkness books, and I read some of like some of the Critical Failures, and I read some of these things. Like people are just having fun, and people are reacting to fun. It's like these. So I was like, oh shit, you can just do this. So then I started working on my own material and blah 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 blah. So here I am.
Oh, I just got drunk and pitched for Correct.
I wish I had,
I was just an asshole in their forums for about 3 years. And I didn't learn any lessons from that, but, it was quite good mechanically, I thought. I met Bevan, I thought. And
That's
then
awesome.
out of spite, I read his books. I thought, he's written a good book here. This is embarrassing. I better write a book too. And that's how I wrote a book. It's nowhere near as inspiring as Gibby's story. I'm sorry.
Mine is not inspiring. And mine was. I wish I had started sooner, because the problem is all you fuckers who came along before me. I came right after you, so it's like you guys already cornered the market. It's like because you guys are like Drew and all those guys are all doing like the web serial format, so they could just transfer that over to book medium. The rest of us are playing Johnny Come Lately, and I'm sitting at the kids' table sucking for scraps at this point. So fuck off.
Yeah, there was a golden era there.
Yeah,
that's true. Anyway, we're supposed to be
you have another mom,
mums.
Or unless Nemo's dad is your mom, you're piggybacking off of him.
I think that's what we landed on. I mean, that was a horrible suggestion.
That was Nemo's mom was my suggestion, not the dad.
Yes.
Well, you've opened up a can of worms there, Bevan.
Fish, worms, Then I'll jump to mine then. That would be the real hero / star of the very first Friday the 13th movie, Jason's mom. This woman loved her child so much, and these fucking horny teenagers did not pay attention. They didn't do their fucking job. I realized in 1980 they didn't have Netflix, so the thing he had was weed and sex. So her poor baby died, and this lady said, "Not today, teenagers," and had to come back long before Jason was ever a mutant zombie reborn from the lakes of Crystal Lake. The real hero was Jason Voorhees' mother, who decided to take these teenagers to task.
I'd just like to point out that even in the age of Netflix, weed and sex is doing fine. We don't have to worry.
I think it's on a decline. That's why weed is legalized. They're trying to please God, please take this weed for shit's sake.
They're trying to make it cool now.
Hey, every time you watch a documentary of what happened to sports stars or athletes or musicians, everything set in the 60s, 70s, and early 80s, they didn't have anything but sex, drugs, and rock and roll. They had no distractions. So
you might be right. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, that's a great conspiracy theory. Hey, you can have as much sex and weed as you want, but wouldn't you rather have Clash of Clans? Clash of Clans.
Brought to you not by all
the multiplayer game.
Exactly.
Where you can. No, I'm kidding. I'm not trying to secretly.
But I would say, but no, it's one of those I think about it man, a lot of these things would when I watch Goodfellas, I love that movie. I'll watch it a million times. With every time he's so high on cocaine, if you just could just sit and chill, because I know that you only had 3 channels, but imagine if you had everything you've ever wanted to see. You guys could have relaxed a lot if you just learned to there's something on Netflix for everybody or one of the streaming services. I'm just saying, you can do a little coke on the side, sure. Don't get me wrong, but man, you could have. That a lot of the aggression could have gotten out of you. You maybe you didn't need to go see your girlfriend all the time. Have you seen Ozark? It's really fucking good. So,
that's true.
Great mom.
Speaking as a man who, great mom and that. Speaking as somebody who lives by themselves, I often think, man, I'm glad I'm on this YouTube rabbit hole. Otherwise, I would have a serious coke problem.
Yes.
Instead of a jovial one.
Just a jovial drinking and coke. This is neophyte level coke.
It is fine. This is just 3 days a week. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so the super mums of. All right, let's. We've all had 2 each now, right? Can we make them fight now? That's what it's all about.
I got one last one.
Okay, let's go.
I got Brian's mom from Life of Brian.
Oh wow, good call.
Oh,
she sucked a lot of Roman dick.
Yeah.
To bring her son up right.
Yeah.
And he was a whiny piece of shit.
He made some sacrifices. And she kept him humble.
Mm.
Yeah, it could have went a real different way if somebody came up and said, if we'd been a spoiled kid, they were you're the Messiah. We could have had
Of course I am, yes.
Yeah, we could have had Jesus might have had some trouble. But no, she
fortunately, Jesus lived a worry-free life.
A trouble-free life. Well, he did right up until he died. I mean, it was going pretty well for a while, right? But
yeah.
But he could have had some serious competition there had Brian's mother not raised him to be a humble man.
Hmm.
I don't know, was he a whiny piece of shit? I think all his grievances were pretty...
From her point of view.
Yeah. Well, I thought, from our point of view, he had some reasonable grievances, but she was just
absolutely. But I mean, you gotta look at it through her eyes.
Yeah, which are level with Roman's pubes a lot of the time.
Yes.
That's true. She was a great mother. And a fantastic comedic character whom we can all recognize in our own lives. Probably. Maybe just me. I'm from England. Oh, all right. Oh, shit. What's going on here, Gibby? Explain it to our audio listeners who can't see.
For audio listeners who cannot see it, I pulled up. I did a little, prior to this podcast, I did a thing who are some of the top misunderstood moms in movies and television. And I grabbed 7 from that list because not everybody knows everybody. So I tried to grab the most popular ones that are very recognizable. So I've got a screen in front of Mr. Steve and Mr. Bob here of good. I have a side that says good, a side that says bad, and we've got to decide which they go. And the characters are Peggy Bundy from Married with Children, Mama Fratelli from The Goonies, Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones, Beverly D'Angelo's character from all the vacation movies, Sarah Connor, and Skylar from Breaking Bad. And we've got to decide, are these good moms or bad moms? And once they're on their side, we rank them according to that. So if you want to, let's start at the top, gentlemen. Peggy Bundy, good mom, bad mom.
I'd like to start at the top. Again, are we talking good mom, bad mom, or good MILF, bad MILF? That's
for this quorum of 3 to decide.
I could not understand as a kid. I understand now that Married with Children was a subversion of the sitcom. But at the time, I was just a kid. I didn't realize it's a subversion. I was like, why does that man not want to fuck his wife?
Right.
What's wrong with that man?
I mean, she's a handsome woman. I'm not going to call her beautiful, but she's always been a handsome woman.
Oh, no, it's not just a handsome woman. She has a way about it, Gibby.
She's got a voice like an angel, too.
Yeah. No, she's
charisma Yes.
Overspilling from a low-cut top. You know, as a young man, this is, well, I say young man, maybe like an 8-year-old boy, you probably
I mean, I'll say today. I mean, have you seen Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah.
I'm in. Like,
yeah, it's just like, Ted Bundy, what is your fucking problem?
well, Al Bundy. Ted Bundy was a murderer.
Al Bundy. Oh, shit, yeah.
Ted Bundy was a murderer.
Well, his problem has been well discussed in lots of other fucking podcasts with much more listenership than us. I'd love to say, whoops, I slipped up. I talked about a mass murderer. That's going to put people off. But if anything, I've just raised our listenership.
Now, the good side is I'm trying to think of the good things she did on the show. Shit. Let's start with the bad. She did neglect her children. She harangued her husband. She was faithful, though. She was a faithful wife, not a great mom. She harangued her husband constantly.
How old are her kids?
I think it depends. Like Bud, I think was at one time was like 13 when the show started, and Kelly was 16.
Yeah, that's not neglect. They're fine.
I mean, they did have the other child from her cousin that they did take in. I think they called he was number 4 is what all he had was a number for a name. And like there was a period of time where they took it like kind of like the cousin Oliver thing. They brought in another kid for a while in the later seasons of Married with Children. So, she did help raise a child that wasn't hers. So that's definitely on the good column.
Well, her kids were awful. But I always thought,
again, as Bob says, nature nurture. They weren't set up to succeed ever. So let's not.
No. Well, let's not discount the father from this. Yeah, he worked hard. Yeah, he was tired. But I always thought Ted Bundy,
Al Bundy,
you'd be a lot happier if you let your horny, beautiful wife just suck your dick. Just you might chill the fuck out.
Well, he was when they did do it, he was very bad at it, very quick. All her jokes was like, "You're over very quickly." I mean, I know he was like he will always remind you that he was an athlete and you're trying to score first and fast as an athlete. I understand that, but you know, I know you're trying to go for your best time. But so she was never very pleased with his performance in the bedroom. So
okay, but you can do that like medically speaking, even at his age, like 4 times a day. Just and she's up for it. So you're a miserable man. Take like 3.5 minutes or whatever it is you got.
Yes. And
just be happy, Ted. Just be happy with your beautiful, overly horny, cartoonishly horny wife.
Yeah, compared to Elle, I mean, I think she was a champion.
Yeah.
I'm ready to decide. She's going in the good column for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. So she's going over here to good.
I'm definitely putting her in the good column.
All right.
Like for all that family's faults, I don't think she was.
She is not the source of that problem. She's
right.
No.
Al never let go of the good old days.
He didn't appreciate what he had.
He did not.
The kids weren't all that bad.
The kids were awful.
He sold shoes for like 20 years and he never got a promotion. So there's probably a reason for that. So
I would have drowned the boy kid.
Yeah.
I like Bud.
All right, so she goes over to the good column. Let's hop down to Mama Fratelli. Now, yes.
Well, we're out of the horny zone here.
She tried to murder children. She tried to maim Chunk's hand. She did lock one of her kids away.
No, those were not her children, but yes. All right, one of her kids.
She locked one of her own kids away.
And she was really shitty to Jake. I mean, she sprung him out of prison, but she fucking hated him.
Yeah, but she also spent all her money on Francis's hairpiece. Because she
favored one child so much over the other.
She favored Francis, but she did break Jake out of jail. That she went to great lengths to do that.
Speaking of somebody, on a podcast with more than its fair share of bowl guys, maybe Francis should have just fucking sucked it up.
Should have leaned into it. Of course, as I say that, as I'm wearing my hat and not exposing it.
Get a hat, dude.
Yeah, she exactly. Well, he did wear one. I think it was actually a flat cap. Fuck, I feel even worse now. So she was also organized, criminal. So she was career oriented. She was good at what she did. The police knew about the Fratellis and they were always on the run. So they were mostly successful.
Well, they're always on the run. To me, isn't particularly successful. They did not look like a rich family.
They weren't caught. I mean, even when they did get caught, they broke them out of jail and they set a little bit of fire. Now they were brought down by children, but that's because those movies are designed that way. But she did try to.
We have to appreciate them in the medium in which they are presented.
Yes,
they were brought down by children. They were frequently caught, apparently. No, I'm going to say she's not a great criminal and she's not a great mother. Also,
no, not a great mother at all. Unless
no matter what I say, outvoted,
all
so
right.
she goes over to the bad column.
Into
Sorry,
the
Mom
bad
Fratelli.
column with you.
I mean,
All right.
she fucking slapped Jake across the face with a gun.
She did.
That's
And she
pistol
also,
whipping.
I think she did. Yeah, exactly. And of course, we can't forget throw Mama from the train. So unfortunately,
I'll show you
sorry,
a trimmer.
sorry, you are just unfortunately a victim of typecasting. Moving on, Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones.
Well, not a good mother.
I disagree.
Well, she was very much about like her kids at any cost.
Yes, she was a fantastic mom.
Had she not done anything, all her children would be alive.
Yeah,
All right,
but
they
this
wouldn't
is
be
also
king.
like that whole like fantasy medieval setting where everybody's trying to fuck somebody over. So she's just trying to like get in there first, and like she maneuvered her way into the kingdom, so all her children would be royalty. Unfortunately, if I remember correctly,
Inbred.
she did have one kid with Robert, and unfortunately, I think she had it. She took care of that kid, so it never actually was born.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say, if she had not taken any single, if she had just said, "Oh, I'm the queen now," yeah, my husband's fat, but also I'm not a peasant living in a pile of shit, which
Right.
everybody else is. I'm just going to go with this, squeeze out some kids, have a life of privilege. Not only would all her children be alive, but pretty much every character in Game of Thrones would be alive.
Yes.
So I'm going to say bad.
Yeah, I'm leaning bad as well because
I don't know. Hang on here.
if you
Because
live and all your children die, you fucked up.
now, to be fair, when you watch the show and read the books, it was prophesized that, bad things were going to happen to her kids. So she fought tooth and nail to keep them alive. She tried to keep her daughter alive, and her daughter was killed beyond her fault. The son was killed beyond her fault, and the other son took his own life.
This is medieval England. It's like if you had 12 kids because
Like 9 of them are going to die. You need at least 3.
You need some buffer kids.
Right. So
She started them off wrong by inbreeding.
True.
I
Well,
mean,
she
have you
wouldn't
seen
have
that guy?
known,
Okay, first of all, like you look
He was hot.
at Jamie and you look at Robert Baratheon. I'm like, not for nothing,
Baratheon was a fun guy. If they'd had Hawaiian shirts back then, they would have put one on him.
Yeah, he was a John
It would have been
Belushi
fun.
of Westeros.
Yeah.
I'm totally tracking that, but I am saying that ye old medieval Pornhub makes the incest thing way more natural. So Lannister lust is a thing. So, and also
They
half
could've- she
the
could've
white hair
just
people
waited.
are related.
Yeah, she could have just said like, "Oh right, okay, I'm married to this oaf. Fair enough. Maybe just put some extra bacon in his breakfast. It's not going to be a problem for long."
I mean, to be also fair, he's whoring in front of her. He just goes to his, like, everybody knows. It's like, hey, later, lady, I'm going to go bang these bitches over here. I need to get to my whoring today. See you later,
It's
white.
It's kind of what the whole thing is for, I suppose. I don't know if it could be humiliating, but at least she doesn't have to be under him.
No,
And
but
that's
she
got
did
a-
make her brother stand guard outside the door so that he knew that he was in there banging someone that wasn't his sister.
Yeah. But I don't know if banging
lean
your
that she
brother
might
is
be a bad person, but I lean that she's a good mom.
I don't know. All her children are dead. Mostly by her actions.
And I mean, I still go back to she just started them off wrong by fucking her brother. That's
Yeah, she's just like the ultimate.
That's not the
soccer
kid's fault.
mom.
That's not the kid's fault.
I'm not blaming the kids. I'm blaming her.
Okay. I'm outvoted then. If you guys are voting bad,
Well-
I can't. It's 2-1. It's democracy
I'm gonna say
rules.
bad.
All right. Sorry, Cersei. I tried. I think you're a bad person, but a good mom.
Why are you apologizing to Cersei? She's murdered many people.
Because I like that actress. She's kind of hot.
She is hot. No, I'm not
Like
denying that.
did you see that Brothers Grimm movie? It's god awful, but she's beautiful in it. Like,
This is not a MILF, not MILF chart giving.
Don't you
We
take
wouldn't
from
do
this
that.
from me, from Mr. Wetherell? So, Morticia.
If this
Anyway,
were a MILF, not MILF chart, it would be very different. There'd just be Mama Fratelli on one side and everybody else on the other side.
exactly.
Not even that.
Skylar's
I don't know.
debatable.
The actress in real life might have been very charming. I don't know.
I don't know. All right.
She's dead.
They're all MILFs.
Mrs. Griswold, I cannot remember her character's name. Beverly D'Angelo is the actress. I cannot remember her character's name. Damn it. What was Bob? You seem like you're a vacation fanatic. Do you remember her character's name? Because it was made before 1990. So I figure that's why you just
It's in the 3-year period of movies you watched.
exactly.
I don't know, but I have internet.
That's what I'm doing right now. Ellen Griswold.
Ellen, that's it.
Ellen not only had to curtail her husband's constant wacky bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
which she did a damn good job of. She was an emotional rock for that guy. And also a fun character. But also there's a scene at the end of Christmas Vacation. The police break in and they all point their guns at the Griswold. Everybody else puts their hands in the air. She puts her hand on her husband's cock. Now that is dedication. There is a woman who not only loves her husband emotionally, but has a deep physical need for some of that Griswold action. That's dedication and passion.
Yeah, I don't know why she was on the misunderstood list when I pulled it up. Like, I've always found her to be like
nothing to misunderstand.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I think there was like, was it even in European Vacation? There was some like thing where like some guy she was like kissing or something by accident. Like, but the point is like Clark was also like trying to like bang Christy Brinkley or getting real tempted to it, and she forgave him for that. So
they were in Europe.
Yeah, but I think
everybody cheats on each other.
Was she a good mom? Was she a good mom to the kids? I mean,
she's a great mom. Yeah.
Like, now, is she culpable in any of Clark's bullshit? Like when they left the grandmother tied to the roof of the van and she died, you know, is she culpable for any of this?
No, like that doesn't really come into it because like if she had left one of the kids on top of the car and they died.
Yeah.
Oh no, Kevin McAllister's mom's not in here from Home Alone. Immediately bad mom. Sorry, the entire point of that movie is because she's a bad mom.
Yeah, that's true. And she's forgiven at the end of it by an 8-year-old child, and I'm like, he is too young to forgive you. You're a monster.
Yes.
But no, Ellen Griswold is. I'm
going to go.
You said like
good mom.
The few times she didn't like curtail her husband's bullshit, we can't punish for that because that's like there's always just some are going to slip through. That man was doing a lot of bullshit a lot of the time.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't think of any instance with the kids that she was in the wrong.
No, she was a good mom.
And then there were two. Sarah Connor.
You know what? Dedicated. Fuck the homeless guy. Gotta love that.
Yep.
That's
homeless time traveler. Yep.
She became brother. Yeah, but she became everything she needed to be in Terminator 2 because she knew what was happening. So we might think maybe a little bit hard on the kid, maybe a bit crazy, but she knew that kid was going to be fighting giant murderous robots. So Terminator 2, I completely, I give her that. I think she was the mum she needed to be.
You know, I agree with you. Now, for the sake of just, transparency, yes, you took your kid in and out of Mexico, taught him how to handle weapons, cheat, steal, lie, do bank fraud, a lot of things that are like, don't fall into the good mom category.
Yeah,
but knowing that, and she was going to murder Miles Dyson. She was going to go pull a hate crime and go kill a very intelligent black man to save the future. So
again, I don't see what race has got to do with it. If this man is going to invent the robots that kill,
well, you know what you could also do: talk to him, not just murder him. You could just talk to him.
Sit there with a rifle, going,
have a conversation.
Shoot this guy. I'm going to avert Armageddon. Oh, but he is black.
Yeah. It's such a dilemma I would have.
Now that, like I'm saying, I think she was a hard mom, making hard choices for the right reasons.
Some hard biceps.
And unfortunately, Edward Furlong grew up to look like you ever pulled a body out of the river after 3 days?
Yeah.
That's what he looks like now. But
well, that's the thing. He grew up to be unattractive enough that they didn't include him in another movie.
Right.
So they changed it by having him killed in front of Sarah Connor, which means she fucked up her one job.
Oh, that's actually a good point. Hang on.
Yeah, all this stuff she did in Terminator 2 to become the ultimate.
Because if it stopped in Terminator 2,
mother,
she's a good mom. But the fact the story continues and she kind of failed at that job of prepping him.
Yeah, the one job she had to do. That she became the ultimate apocalypse mom in Terminator 2.
I haven't seen this. I've only seen through Terminator 2. But
that's all you need to
see.
Yeah,
for lack of trying?
Yeah, they were kind of relaxing on a beach, which seemed like very non-Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
He should have been like, hey, Mum, we're at the beach. And she'd be like, okay, take your Glock.
Yeah. So if we're stopping just at Terminator 2, I say good mom. If you go further...
Well, someone's fucked with the timeline, Gibbies. All right, let's just pretend we're on the good Terminator movie timeline. There's nothing after 2. And we'll put her in the good pile.
That sounds like a plan. Good mom. Okay, now, Skylar from Breaking Bad.
Now, I would say the main problem with Skylar, the main reason everybody hated Skylar, is because she was getting in the way of a good time. every
I think it was the lazy hand job she gave her husband on his 50th birthday while she was looking at her tablet, like jerking him off,
he's 50 and he's like, not that great. It's fine. It's, he gets a hand job. That's great. A hand job is a hand job.
Yeah, but she's distracted. I think she's looking at building listings or something like that. I forget whatever her job was at the time.
She's got a job to do.
Yeah,
and he's not making much money. This is like the crux of
chemistry teacher. Here's the thing: after 20 years, you can make decent money in a school system after 20 years. But
he chose not to. He was a very truculent man. Now, I'd say Skylar, as like a wife and mother, made decisions and had misgivings that were entirely reasonable when put through the filter of, I'm trying to watch a fucking show here, lady. Yeah. Like, as soon as you put it through that filter, it's like, Skylar, you're annoying. I don't care if you think what your husband is doing is immoral. I'm having a good time.
Because like she might have been the prototype, and Laura Linney's character from Ozark was the perfection thereafter.
Yes. But for the first few seasons, she was just like, I think it's unreasonable that you continuously lie to me.
She fucked Ted.
Yeah. So. But yeah, again, I think that was kind of a reasonable response to the situation she'd be put in.
Now the thing she did, like, she took care of Walt Jr. She took care of the baby daughter, whose name I don't remember. She tried to battle her way, try to get him out of the stuff to take, because it's not about being a good or bad wife. This is about being a good or bad mom.
Yeah.
And she took care of the kids. She was trying to hold the family together. She tried to get Walt to stop, but then she ultimately got a little Lady Macbeth and addicted to the power.
Yeah. Well, I think for a while there, she was like, maybe having the FBI, my own brother-in-law, super cop, and the Mexican cartel trying to kill us isn't a good environment for children. And call me old-fashioned.
Sure.
I think she might have been right.
She might have been onto something there. And, but Walt was constantly gaslighting her all the time. All the time.
He was. I mean, he was really good at that.
He was very good at it.
And it was fun. And I liked to see him do it. He was a master of his craft. Yes, so I hated Skylar for no good reason other than I am trying to
because you're following this villain.
Stop being a bitch.
So, well, that's the thing. I love that show a lot, but when you break it down from stories, just strip the acting away and just look at the story. It's a story of incredible plot contrivances, because it's he's stuck in this van. Oh no, who's outside? It happens to be the DEA, but it's his brother, the one guy. Like, so he knows to call the sister-in-law to get him to leave. This stuff only works because it's contrived to be that way. But the acting is so amazing and it's shot so well that your brain kind of skips over these narrative leaps of logic. He is so goddamn charismatic that you hate Skylar because you want to see this guy do more meth and get in and out of trouble. And it's like, and the one person's like, maybe you should stop. Like, shut up, woman. How dare you stop his meth empire? He's going to be the next Chicken Man. So
Skylar, will you stop fucking with the vibe?
Right, we have misguided hate towards Skylar because Walt was so goddamn charismatic. Is she a good mom though? That's the ultimate question.
Saying that, at the end of it, she does sort of get in on it. She gets with the fucking program, but she probably only does that because Walt, by this point,
Walt set it up so it looked like she like, you bitch, and he's trying to cry over the phone to make her paint her to be a good one, so he gets all the money. So she got all the money, so be there for Walt Jr. and the baby. And she went along with it because what was best for the family. So good mom, bad mom.
It's tough though, because I think if she would have gotten on board earlier, like she could have been she was trying to be the glue that holds the family together. She could have been the glue that held the very successful and rich family together.
Yeah, but then again, her immediate response of don't deal meth is quite a reasonable response for most people.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be my first response.
Not just don't do it, just don't make it and sell it. So
yeah, don't deal meth. Yeah, it's a reasonable response. I don't fault her for having that response. She wasn't to know she was the main character in a very popular TV program that I was trying to enjoy. That's not her fault as a mother.
Yes.
I'm going to say good. On the balance of things, I'm going to say good.
Bob, good or bad?
I'm on the fence. If you're leaning good, then I'll feel better about being on the fence.
Yeah, I'm leaning good.
All right,
I never have to
I
give
don't have to make
Bryan,
a decision.
Yeah.
All right,
I've never had to make Bryan Cranston, come with my hands. So
yes,
just far as I'm
concerned, if you want to, I'm sure he wouldn't say no to it. I don't know. I
don't know if that makes me a good
all right.
mother,
So the bad side. Okay, who's the worst mom? Mom Fratelli or Cersei Lannister?
Oh, Well, one of them has a much higher body count in both
Yes.
cases.
Yeah, well, we don't know. We don't know.
Those
We
include
don't know
all
Monticelli's
of her
life.
children.
But she never actively hated her children.
Well,
That's true.
I just based on what Bob just said, all children here are dead. These kids are at least alive in jail, and Sloth has a better life now. No thanks to her.
No.
So I think
Sure.
Cersei is the top. Man, I feel bad because again, I don't think she's a bad mom. So
Yeah,
But
you wanted to put her on the good list.
I did. She's a good mom. She's a bad person.
If Cersei had run the Fratelli
Terrible
gang, the Goonies would be fucking dead.
Oh no! If Cersei had run the those kids would never have made it out of Oregon. No, like Data is unfortunately up in heaven. Like,
No. They'd be like, Francis, I love you. You look great with a shaved head. Shoot all these children in the face. And the movie would be over.
oh no, she would have messed around with that blender. She just would have chopped Chunk's hand off like that and just now made him eat it. So
Yeah.
Here you go, little piggy. Eat it. No, we're not leaving until you eat it. Oh my God, I want to watch the Cersei Lannister version of Goonies now. Fuck. That's
That
messed up.
sounds awful and great.
Yeah, doesn't it? All right. So I think we got the.
Yeah. we got to decide who's the supreme mother now.
Yeah, who's the supreme mother off this misunderstood mothers list?
It's Mrs. Griswold. She's not even.
Yeah, exactly.
understood.
She's number one, hands down.
Yeah, she's number one.
Yep.
Let's make it fair. Let's look at the other ones.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's number one, and who's left over? We got Peggy Bundy, Sarah Connor, and Skylar.
I think Sarah Connor should take the next spot for making all the effort she did. Peggy
Made no effort.
A good mother, just for default for not fucking it up too bad, doing nothing.
Okay, I think I agree with that. You have a problem with that, Steve?
Yeah. No, that's flawless logic. That's
right.
what people come here for, Gibby. Flawless logic.
That is true. All right, next up, Skylar or Peggy?
Well, we were saying like half-hearted hand job to Bryan Cranston, or just constantly trying to fuck Al Bundy. It's got to go to Peggy for me. It's not my fault that he didn't accept it. He would have been a much happier man.
I might have to vote Skylar only because like she did go to like lengths and she had to make the ultimate decisions. And at the end of the day, she got rid of her meth head husband, got to keep the money, and the kids are going to have a better life because of how she worked everything. So my vote goes to Skylar. Side vote goes to Bob.
It doesn't matter what, your hand jobs and fucking your husband is not what counts. It's hand jobs and fucking your kids. This is about mothers.
That's true. Yeah. Wow.
Thankfully,
that's weird.
neither of these women gave hand jobs or
That we saw.
or fuck their kids.
Well, we haven't looked at the fanfic stuff yet, have we?
Yeah.
No.
So
And
Canonically
nor should we, and nor should anyone.
if we're going by that, I think it's Skylar, and at the end, at the bottom of the good pile is Peggy Bundy.
Like her to bum on my good pile. Yeah, okay, this is fair and just. And
This
we're
is
all
democracy in
about justice
action,
on
my
Mother's
friend.
Day. Yeah. At the heart of democracy must be justice, or it's all for naught. And I'm satisfied with this conclusion. Well done, chaps. We've solved Mothers and Mother's Day. I knew we could do it without the broads interfering.
Yeah, I truly hope the ladies of A&D take over Father's Day because they're going to roast us hard.
Well, we deserve it, really. Because of me, mainly.
Specifically you. Specifically
yeah,
you. Yeah.
Well, it's not Mother's Day where I am, all right?
That's true.
But happy Mother's Day, Americans.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's
Put your feet
Day.
up. Enjoy yourself. Pray you never make it onto one of our ranking lists.
Remember, Ellen Griswold is the target, not Cersei
Yeah.
Lannister. Don't make incest babies and let them die. So,
Well, on that note of really solid advice, we'll say goodbye to you listeners. Goodbye.
bye,
Goodbye,
everybody.
friends.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.